Elvin Hurst Sr., my wife Helen. We're the founders of Kountry Kraft Kitchens since back in 1959, 56 years ago. We start in a one-car garage with this little Sears and Roebuck table saw standing in front of me. And we are manufacturers of quality custom cabinetry for the entire home. We make kitchen cabinets, entertainment centers, bathroom vanities, anything you can imagine. The only limitation is your imagination. We now have evolved to a 80,000 square foot factory with modern equipment. We have a computerized panel saw, which is pictured right behind us here.
We are pleased to introduce to you the next generation of owners. Our daughter, Dee Hurst Spunk, and our son, Elvin Hurst Jr. They are responsible for 100 employees producing $12 million in sales per year. Also, the third generation works at Kountry Kraft, Tyler Hurst. He's working with the sales team at Kountry Kraft. Elvin Jr. now has the opportunity to take you on a tour.
Before we started the factory tour, I wanted to come here and show the main entrance where the employees come in to build the world's finest custom cabinetry. As you can see in the sign behind us, we highly respect and appreciate our employees, and we're only as good as our employees, and they're the ones that make the final product that goes out the back door. Here we're bringing in the lumber. We use all CARB 2 compliant material, which is formaldehyde free. Everything gets stored down here in our lumber warehouse and then later gets fed up to the saws. As you can see, we make two different lines. We make a traditional cabinet with a face frame, front frame, and it has a beaded inset. You can get a beaded inset or without a bead. And then we also make over here a European line, which is a 3/4 inch box doweled and drilled together. These are the two lines that you'll be seeing through the tour. As you've seen earlier, the lumber coming in, the lumber gets put into our product, and what does don't go to waste. We grind up and burn in our furnace, which heats our whole facility and all our ovens through the winter. As you can see, here's our computerized panel saw. It all gets programmed by the operator for optimization. It does a scoring cut before the main cut. Everything that comes in here comes in 4x9 sheets or 4x8 sheets. Everything that you see in the factory that's cut up was originally cut on this saw. Here's stuff that we cut on the panel saws. There's our standard stock sizes. We are highly custom, but this is our standard size. This is a base floor, top and bottom of the wall cabinet, a vanity floor, base cabinet back. So then we bring it over here on this machine, and we call this box cutting. He's cutting in one shot. He's cutting the floor of a base, back of the base cabinet, the floor, top strips, and toe kick, all in one cutting. He is now putting a block in there to take care of the scribe, to offset the scribe for the toe kick. And also we generate paperwork out of our order processing department, and we have a full description of every cabinet, where it's going, what it is, everything stuck in the back of every cabinet so we know where it goes and what it is. This is our front frame department. It's where we make our front frame for our traditional cabinet. You can see we have computerized equipment for accuracy. And now we'll go down on the floor and I'll show you how they're put together. As you can see, behind me is where we store our front frame material, our different wood species. We stock it about 25 different wood species we have with our veneers. Over here he's cutting it using our Tiger Stop computerized guide for accuracy. So here's where I cut his stiles and rails for the front frame. Over here is parts that were already cut. We got labels on every front frame, so it knows which cabinet to go to and where it's going. As you can see, we have a computerized saw to do our tenon on our rails. Very accurate, precise machine. That tenon goes into a mortar. There's mortars and tenon for the front frame to join it. So we can put glue in and stick it in together and then staple it from the back. Okay, you've seen that we just did the tenon. We're now doing the mortison, which is the female part. The tenon was the male part. Puts that groove in so the tenon can fit in there. And we'll glue it, and then we'll staple it. Okay, here we're going to do the rails. We're going to do the hunching with a beaded inset. Again, a computerized machine for accuracy. Doing the rails now, then we'll have to do the stiles. He's now going to do the style. He just did the top rail. That there's a rail below it, 5 inches below for the drawer. I'm just showing you here all the different beads we do for a beaded inset. And now we're going to go over to the machine where we do the beading. Okay, now we're going to get ready to put the bead on. Okay, the bead is just an edge that on the face frame you'll be able to see on the cabinet. Just gives it a beaded look. That there happens to be a style. And here he's doing the other style. Okay, here's final assembly for the front frame. You can see it's not automated. These highly skilled people. He's now going to be gluing it up. Then he'll be putting it together and pressing it. There he's putting a rail in that goes below the drawer. Now he's putting a top rail in that goes on top of the drawer. So you can see that's a base cabinet. It'll have two doors in the bottom with a drawer on the top. Now placing his clamps where he needs to. And again, with these beaded inset, we have about 8 different kind of beads that you can choose from. So he presses it together, cleans the glue off. Just measuring for accuracy. There you got your finished product. Cleaning all the glue out. If you have any glue in there, the finished one out of here. You gotta make sure it's all cleaned out. He's again checking for squareness. And here's the finished product. That'll be a base cabinet with 2 doors and a drawer. We'll have a toe kick on the bottom. There you can see your bead. And here you can see the hunch, where it got hunched out over there on that computerized huncher. And again, I just want to show you the accuracy of this machinery. There's no putty in them joints. Very tight, very accurate precision. As you've seen before, where we're making our beaded front frame, It then comes up here, and we take every door. Every door is labeled and numbered for every opening to every front frame. Something that we do that a lot of our competitors don't do is we truly fit every door and drawer to every opening. We put it in here, we mark it, the size for every opening. We then take it over to the sander, and then we now sand it down to our markings to truly fit the opening. So he's basically just sanding every size down to the line that he marked. Now we're taking over to the next machine, which puts the back bevel on it. Because when you have two butt doors together, that's two doors together. When you open them up, they would hit each other. So by putting the back bevel on, they will not hit each other when you open them up at the same time. That there shows the complete process of fitting a door into our beaded front frame. Okay, here's one of our CNC computerized routers. Here we're happening to be doing the traditional line, which goes with the front frame I just showed you. This is a base cabinet side. It's gonna do a back plot where the back goes in, and right now it's putting the groove in with the back of the cabinet, the 1/4-inch back will slide in. Again, this is an end panel, for a base cabinet. Okay, now it's going to put the dovetail. We have a true dovetail. Unlike a lot of our competitors, they only use a dado. We use a true dovetail. It is not dovetailing the groove for the bottom, for the floor to go in. It's now putting the top dovetail in for the top of the cabinet. So that was the dovetail of the top floor. Is now it's putting the nose on the front, which will go into the back of the front frame. And we have a groove in the back to fit in. It is now going to drill all the holes for the shelf pins. Now it's cutting the notch out for the toe kick. Now this machine is a mirror image, so that was the left side of the cabinet. Now it's going to go over and do the right side, which is mirroring. It's going to do exactly the same as it just did on the last part. So you can always put a piece in and run the other piece while you're loading the other side of the machine. Here's the finished product for the base cabinet side. Okay, here is where we put our edge banding on our European line, which becomes the face frame. Actually, the front edge of the cabinet is just a 3/4-inch box. So this edge banding is going to be the front of the cabinet. Goes in here, it heats it, the banding's getting applied. Then it goes down through. Edge banding's being applied, it goes through a hot melt, puts hot glue on it, and now it's going to trim the front and back edge of the board. At that station, this station now, it's routing the top and bottom edge. And then now it's going through a buffer. And here we'll show you the finished product when it comes out. There's a nice piece of edge banding on there, and that can be any wood species or any different color laminate. Okay, now I'm just going to show the other side of the machine. Here you see boards going in. It's now going to go through the glue pot where the edge banding goes on. You're going to watch it trim the front edge. There, it just trimmed it. Now it's going to trim the back edge. Now it's routing the top and bottom, and then it's buffing it. And now it comes out as a finished product. Again, I can do that in any wood species or any color laminate. Okay, we just took the European cabinet to the edge bander. Here is where we drill it. Now it's going to shoot glue in and shoot the dowel in. The European cabinet, again, is a 3/4-inch box doweled together. drilling, shooting the glue into the dowel all at one time. Okay, here's our other CNC router. This is where we do all the end panels for our European cabinets. Right now it's putting the screw in for the top floor. Putting the hinge holes in for the hinges. It also puts the holes in for the connector bolts to connect the cabinet to the next cabinet. Puts the shelf holes in. Okay, here's door inspection. She's inspecting for the size, squareness, any warpage. Then it gets marked per door, per job. Now checking for squareness. She's not going to punch the number in, so it corresponds to the cabinet. Again, she's marking all the numbers per job. And after all paperwork's checked off and confirmed, in good shape, good quality, it goes over here to these carts and gets loaded on these carts per job, and then they get wheeled into manufacturing. And they'll meet up with the cabinet at track loading. Here's our drawer department. Our drawers are made out of a 3/4 inch thick maple, solid maple. He is now cutting the parts for a 4-inch drawer box. Okay, then parts are cut. Now he's going to go cut the back. I'm sorry, the bottom. Okay, now he's getting ready to cut the floor of the drawer box with a 1/4 inch maple. He's now going to do the dovetail, the female dovetail. You can see there's the female dovetail. Now he's going to do the other end. Okay, now he's going to do the male dovetails for the door box. Does both sides at one time. Okay, she's now putting the glue in. The female route out part. Gonna place them in the press. She slides it down that groove that are in the sides of the drawer. There she just pressed the drawer together. Now she'll staple the bottom in. Again, 3/4 solid maple dovetail drawer box. Just wanted to point out here with our dovetail, that's how they did it back in the old days, chiseled by hand, so it's old style construction. Here's where we brand our name, Kountry Kraft, in the side of our drawers. We do this on all our top drawers only. Okay, here we're putting a slot in for a knife hinge. So it's a bottom hinge. There's the top, so that's the hinge. That'd be in the back of the door for a knife hinge. Now we're going to go over and drill it. We drill with a machine so we don't have a sloppy template and get misplaced holes. So again, for accuracy, we do our drilling back here in the mill for our knobs and our pulls. We're just going to do a drawer head, self-centers itself. So it automatically will self-center right to the middle. That'll be for a pull on a drawer. Okay, here we're going to take our face frames that you've seen being built earlier. And we're going to run them through the speed center. He's micing it right now for accuracy to set the machine up for precision. This machine is 52 inches wide. It has 3 belts on it with 3 different grits. So we run all our face frames through here. As you see, we have inspection lights so they can look to see any cross-grain scratches. Before you're seeing the hinge, some for the knife hinge, we're not doing it for a butt hinge, for inset doors. Here's a final critical inspection point, and this is where it all comes together before assembly. You've seen earlier we made the front frame. So the front frame comes here. Everything's measured again for accuracy and quality and size. So if there is something wrong, we catch it before we put it together and finish it. So we just checked the front frame. Here's the box. You've seen us back earlier doing the box cutting. So there's the box for this particular cabinet. He's measuring again for size. Now here comes the sides. You've seen the sides being done on the CNC router. That actually is a middle partition. That's the left side of the cabinet. That's the right side of the base cabinet. So then there's the front frame. So this happens to be a whole cabinet. Here's the front frame. Here's the sides. Here's the top, bottom, and back and toe kick. And there's the back. So that's a whole cabinet. If you look over here, you can see there's a whole stack ready to go. That is a whole kitchen. From every front frame down is a cabinet. There's a cabinet. From here to here is a cabinet. From here to here is a cabinet. So those are all ready for the assemblers, already checked for sizes for the parts. So then I'll get pushed over to assembly and they'll put them together like puzzles. Okay, this is where we press together and assemble our European cabinet. Again, the 3/4 inch box with a 3/4 inch sides. So there's the sides of the cabinet laying down. And there's the holes that were all put in on the CNC router. That's where the dowel's going to go for the top and the bottom of the cabinet. So he's putting glue in there. He's now getting the top, which already has a dowel shot in on the machine you've seen earlier. So he's basically, now he's going to put the top in. Putting them dowels down in the holes. Now getting ready to put the partition in. It's going to be the partition he's putting in the cabinet. He's going to mark it so he knows where to put his staples. When he puts his back on, he staples it in. It's now going to slide the back down the back groove. Okay, now he's going to put the other side on. So that cabinet now is ready to go into the press. Okay, he's now pressing together. He'll clean all the glue out. So now that'll stay in the press about 15 minutes till the glue dries. Then they'll come out, and as you can see, there's a finished product. And again, that's our European cabinet. Now we're going to go show you how we assemble our traditional cabinets. Okay, here we're showing assembly process of the traditional cabinet. There's a side. As you've seen, the nose was put on that side on the CNC machine. Now it's into the tenon in the groove in the back of the front frame. So that will be your side. Now he's getting ready to put the glue in the grooves to put the floor in the bottom of the wall cabinet. Again, I just want to show you. Here's the male dovetail. He's now going to slide. He's now going to slide the dovetails together. So again, showing a true dovetail. Old quality construction, not the new day and age with the Stato. Gluing up, getting ready to put the back on. Them 1/4-inch strips that he's putting on gives it more strength for when you screw it to the wall. He's now putting little bumpers on the bottom so when we slide the cabinets on the floor, it don't tear up the wood. Just protection for shipping and handling. They come off before they're installed. Going to put these scribe strips in so when you look up from the bottom of the cabinet you won't see that gap. It's like a filler. So that's the bottom of the wall cabinet. So there you go. That's the wall cabinet. After the clamps have been done drying, the clamps come off and it goes into staging to go into finishing. Okay, we're going to walk over here. You just seen there's more assembly tables. It's where all the assembly gets done in the traditional line. You just seen a wall cabinet get built. Now we're going down here. Over here on our left is another final inspection. We put blocking in for our hardware and we putty and get ready for sanding, anything that needs puttied. And then everything goes over here and we stage every job in order, and we do not let a job go into finishing until it's totally complete. That way it ends up complete. Just wanted to talk a little bit about our dust collection in here. As you can tell, we have a very clean environment. Thanks to our dust collector, we have a central dust collection that runs through the mill and also through our finishing room. And that sawdust also goes into our bin where we grind up our wood. That goes into our boiler that we burn for our heat, for our finishing ovens, and for our departments. You see down there in sanding, we have backdraft tables. You'll see when we get to the next department that's hooked up to the dust collection. Okay, this is our specialty department. Our highly skilled people in this department. They can build anything from the beginning to the end. There you see different wood materials. This is eucalyptus wood. It's a frame, mirror frame. Again, I said earlier, we have about 25 different species of materials with a solid stock and our veneers. There he's applying a molding to an end panel for like an Allen cabinet. Then over here showing the other end that he already made. Here we're showing a special wood hood. We do a lot of wood hoods, all custom, hand manufactured. In our special department here, we do our wood hoods, our wood countertops, our combined cabinets, spice racks, wine racks. Just applying all the moldings on, the decorative moldings onto the hoods. Okay, here's our standing department. We have 2 lift tables here for different, so they can go up and down different heights so they can work at eye level. They have a light with them so they can look for scratches or imperfections. You can see in the back is our backdraft table for suction that goes up my dust collector or central dust collection. Again, everything's sanded by hand. Over there, the other girl, she's doing a taller cabinet. That's a taller right in the back, that's the top. She's getting down in the groove. This is another beaded inset, but it has this bead, instead of a bead, it's a cove. Like I said earlier, we have 7 different profiles. This one is a cove inset. She is sanding that by hand right now in that groove. Again, we do a lot of hand sanding to get the quality we need. We do our flat stuff, and again, they have lift tables here. I have lift tables everywhere, and they got backdraft dust collection back there, and they have lights. This piece here happens to be down on the table, not on the lift. Over here, she's doing doors and drawers. Again, she has the lights for inspection and the backdraft dust collection. Then over here, if we need to tape off for 2 different colors, and we want the exterior to be different than the interior, we do our taping off here. So we need to tape off the inside so when they do the spray, they don't get no overspray in the inside. This happens to be the European line that we were looking at earlier. This here is our offline finishing area. Stuff that won't fit on our track that's too long, or special items or our rush items. We also do all our color blocks here, our color control doors here, our samples. He right now is doing a hand stain with a wire wheeled brushed wood look. As you can see in the background there, we have a halogen oven that dries everything within 9 minutes. We got a spray booth back there with all different colored pumps. So it's basically another finishing room in our facility for all fall and for rushes. I just wanted to add that we do hand rub and wipe our stain on and off. We do not use machines. We do it by hand, which gives a lot better quality. Okay, here is where we load the track. The doors come here, the drawers come here, or staged. The cabinets are coming from sand as well as the doors. And this gentleman checks off the cabinet off the print. Every item as it goes to make sure we have every product. He's going to load it on the track. We have a track with 108 carts. Every tabletop turns, so for the sprayers, nothing to trip over, everything's under the ground. We got 780 feet of track. This track now is going to roll down into finishing. I can control how long it goes, how fast it goes, and how long it stays stopped. It's on an index system so we can get our quality. Right now it stops about 2 minutes and then it goes, stops 2 minutes and it goes. We also have quality control buttons. If they have a large cabinet that takes more than 2 minutes, they can stop the whole line so we can keep our quality. That's why we have an index system and not continuous feed. Okay, here we're putting our first coat of primer on. He already went one way, now he's going the other direction. It's what we call a box coat. So we box coat, spray everything. Now you're going to watch the line move, you're going to watch the product go down through, and the next cabinet will come. You blow everything off into the booth, get rid of any excess dust. As you can see, this is a painted cabinet. If it was a stain cabinet, it'd be a natural interior with stain on the outside. Our paint, we paint the interior and the exterior. We put 2 coats of primer on our paint and 1 top coat, and the primers are always the same color as the top coat. That way, if you'd ever nick your paint, it wouldn't show a different color underneath, which a lot of our competitors don't do. And all our stations have a bunch of pumps, so we can always switch colors. The next cart could be a different color. 3 carts down could be another color. We can change color on the flies. We have 5 to 6 pumps at every booth. We have 6 booths. Okay, you just seen us put the primer on the first coat. Now we're going to do a sanding, the 220 grit sandpaper, to get ready for the second coat of primer so that it will adhere. Okay, we're now in our finishing room. You can watch the system go. It's now going. The carts are going in the cross pack to have more room in the ovens so they have longer drying time. I got 3 ovens. The first 2 ovens are about 95 degrees for like 40 minutes. Then I have a top coat oven that's like 115 degrees for like 45 minutes to cure our finish. Okay, here she's staining the countertop. It happens to be a Liptus wood. So again, we hand rub and hand stain everything the old-fashioned way. It's not automated. Just showing you a glaze process, again, hand done by expert finishers. This happens to be a 6-step process. They're putting a 6th step on right now, which is a black glaze. If you look at the undertone, you can see the brush. We actually use a hand brush to get that brush stroke look. And again, this is a 6th step they're putting on right now to get the look. This is our primer and our sealer booth. This being paint, happens to be the second coat of primer he's putting on. You can see he has a wall of fresh air coming behind him. So we got good ventilation. And again, they have all kinds of pumps. They can change colors from cart to cart at any given time. There's the stuff coming out of the sealer oven. We just seen get sealed. Now they got to sand seal it with a 220 grit sandpaper before the final top coat. This is our top coat booth. Final blow off before he puts the top coat on. Again, he has all bank wall there, fillers with fresh air coming in behind him. And again, this is the final top coat. After this final step, it'll go into the drying oven which again is 115 degrees. Stays in there about 45 minutes. When it comes out the other end, it's ready for the touch and ready for hardware. This is our color lab, where we do our color matches. Probably 20 to 30% of our business is color matches, which will match anything to the customer. Anything the customer brings in, we'll match to. Darryl here is our color technician. He has all kinds of different dyes and colors, and everything got to be precisely weighed down to the thousandths of a gram. And to make our colors, as you can see up top, you can see our different dyes and see a lot of different wild colors. The old look, rustic. Here's a crackle, showing a crackle finish. So this is where all the crazy colors get made. The rest of the stuff again comes from Sharon Williams. So that's our color lab. Okay, we're now in hardware. We're gonna drill and punch a hinge in the door. So there's the hinges that he just punched in. He's now gonna hang it on the cabinet. Then he'll adjust it online. Okay, here he has a drawer box. He's putting the clips in for our tandem drawers, for our soft close drawer box. Okay, we're not putting the drawer members in. We do all the drawers offline on these lift tables. So for quality control, they can work at eye level for their backs and also for the quality. So he's putting our soft close runner in. And there's our door box. We'll then mount the drawer head. Now applying the drawer head. Puts his shims in there so his margins are correct. There's how you install a drawer into a cabinet. Again, that's a nice soft close, which is high end. Here's showing hanging a door. The butt hinge that I showed you getting routed out back here, I showed you in the door department. That there gives us our tight reveals by notching out in the door to recess the hinge in. And this is a big thing nowadays. People are going with inch-thick doors and inch-thick front frames. That's something new. It always was 3/4 inch. And here's showing that where I routed out in the door department, that door I routed out for that hinge. So it gives that tight reveal. Okay, here we put our shelves in. We put them in for every cabinet, cut and fit to every cabinet. All our cabinets come with adjustable shelves. He's putting 5mm pins in there, which again are adjustable. Showing a nice brush stroke glaze finish. Again, we put the handles and pulls in backwards so they don't rub each other in the truck and shipping. They'll turn them around after they install the cabinets. Okay, he's cutting glass here for a glass door. Okay, now he's putting a piece of glass in that he just cut in the mullion door. You can get the mullions all different sizes and shapes. Now he's going to put the hold down strips in. Here's showing a diagonal corner cabinet with rotating shelves in it. We do our pie cuts and diagonal cabinets here. We do our glass cabinets at this station. Again, showing inch thick front frame, shows our customization. Here's a walnut interior with a painted exterior. This will get LED light strips put in. It's a new high-tech thing they're starting to do in cabinetry. We do wire up a lot of cabinets. We got electric drawers and a lot of lighting. Here's where we put our hideaway doors, install them. We also do our taller cabinets here. Again, showing a walnut interior with a white painted exterior. Again, we're using inch thick doors. This is our final inspection in our finished goods warehouse. Just showing different products set up. Here's some stainless steel doors from outside Cabinetry. Here's our inspector. He inspects everything for color, quality, size. Nothing goes out of the company without getting inspected, no matter if it's a 1 cabinet job or it's a 30 cabinet job. Just want to show some of our customization. Here's showing a cabinet with the wire mesh doors. Here's another bead. Remember back in the front frame department, we did that bevel bead. Then I showed you a cove bead. This is a square edge bead. Here's showing how we can do the feet to make it look like furniture. These are some fancy vanities with some fancy veneer woods. Just showing what we can do with glass doors. Just showing a two-tone. Here's showing our farm sink will go in. It's a sink that drops down in the old style. That's coming back, the old look. Again, it has a different bead. Then here's showing a contemporary European look with zebra wood, an exotic veneer. So this is basically our warehouse. Everything's staged after inspection. It goes out here to shipping. We blanket wrap everything like fine furniture. Gets blanket wrapped to go out to the job site. We do retail and wholesale at Kountry Kraft. We do 30% retail, which we have our own salespeople and our own installers. This is one of our installer trucks. And then 70% is wholesale, which are big markets in the New England states and all over the United States. So we can be a one-stop shop. Within an 80-mile radius, we sell factory direct, and we would install your kitchen. This is our metal fusion that Kountry Kraft offers. It's a liquid metal. He's right now working on a hood. It's going to be stainless steel, polished with patina. He's right now doing the polishing process. But you can see the color coming out. The more he goes in, again, it's a liquid metal. It's real metal. We have it in different colors I'm going to show you later. You can get it in a polished, you can get it in a patina, or you can get it in a satin. This one happens to be, again, stainless steel polished. Here's a finished product of our metal fusion by Kountry Kraft. Here's showing the different colors you can get. You can get the brass, bronze, copper, white gold, oil rub bronze, iron, nickel silver, stainless. And you get all them in a polished or a patinaed polished or a satin patina. Here's showing some items that are done. Those are in brass. Here's showing a copper turn post. Again, this is all wood with a liquid metal fusion over it. Here's showing a manual, stainless steel manual for a wood hood. Here's showing a neck and ball corbel in brass. Again, it's wood, but it looks like metal. The great reason for this process is instead of paying big money for a copper hood, you can get a custom wood hood at any size and dimension you want, sprayed in copper for half the cost. That is the end of the tour. I'm now going to turn it over to Roger Yanks, my sales manager, that will show you the finished product that you see being produced in the factory. And I just want to take the opportunity now to thank you for touring Kountry Kraft.
Hi, I'm Roger Yanks here at Kountry Kraft. I'm the sales manager. And now that you had the excitement of going through the shop and seeing how the product's made, I'm going to show you some of the showroom here and how the product is displayed here at Kountry Kraft. We're starting here with a couple of vanities that we show. Here's a vanity with a vessel bowl on it sitting on the top, just kind of a special unit that has some detail on the corners of a beveled edge, open shelving, and just a nice way to display maybe a smaller type of powder room vanity. Also with that, you've seen our metal fusion out back. We have a mirror frame here with the beveled edges and the actual metal fusion frame on that. So it's actual wood frame, but has a metal fusion over the top of it. Here we are with our kitchen displays, and you'll see here we have some painted cabinets, also with some stained cabinets in multiple different wood species that you've seen in our factory. This happens to be a paint grade maple and also Liptus species with a stain on it. As you see out there, we had many different types of accessories. We have a pull-out wastebasket here, and they are self-closing, the same as all our hinges are, and the same as our drawers. And we work a lot on our function and what the kitchen actually looks like. We like to make sure things function well, but also appearance well. And as you've seen, 3-drawer base over here on this side, to balance it out, it looks like it's a 3-drawer base, but we actually took the 3-drawer heads and make it function like a door. And I believe you've also seen the pull-outs like this in the manufacturing. So we can do things to make function work well, but also the appearance look well in a balanced area. As we go through our showroom, you'll see different colors, different styles. In this particular room, we show a lot of different styles where we do a lip door, and I think you've seen the cutting of the knife hinge back in the shop and how they do that, and the actual function of that having some adjustment in the slots of the screws. These doors are false. These doors work. And because these are false, we can make the cabinet work on the side. So there's a lot of different function in how we can make different cabinets work for different appearances and functionality. Another fun item is for blind cabinets, where we actually have accessories pulling out and can have additional storage for areas that might be hidden otherwise. We're in our next display here, which is more of a contemporary, modern looking display. And it's a frameless cabinet, as you've seen some construction out in the shop, but we also did some shrouds around some of the area. This particular cabinet has sliding doors with some LED lights in the cabinet to light up the screen as it's closed, and we can recess them in any way that you'd like. We also did a lot of electronics in this kitchen, where we have electronic doors that come open automatically as a touch latch, and they are still soft close. So you can, if you have a wastebasket that you have your hands full or messy, you don't want to touch it, you can just bump with your knee and open the drawer, throw the trash in, and close it again with your knee. You don't even have to touch. Or you can actually open it with the hardware that nobody'd know that it actually has the electronics on it. With that electronics, we can also do some lifts, where we actually have the lifts on the cabinets that they can lift up to bring it back down. If it's too high that you are shorter, that you can't reach it, you can just touch the button and bring it back down again. So it's a nice functional way to be able to keep doors opening and closing. We can also open doors in different directions, different types of lifts that we have to open in different methods for different functions that might be necessary for different designs. We have some corner drawers. As we showed you a Lazy Susan a little earlier, here's a drawer where we actually pull the drawer head out, and as it comes out here, you can see there's some accessories in here to store knives, or you could put anything in here really, spices or utensils or anything like that. But what's really neat is, again, the soft close and the drawer going right back into position. These additional displays here at Kountry Kraft are just to show that we don't build just kitchens, but we are actually building custom cabinets that can be used in any room of the house. We do multiple different rooms. You'll see entertainment centers here, desk units or library units, and also behind me there's also a wet bar back here. The wet bar, we have done the wainscot panels on the walls. We actually created the door on the side for a closet and actually raised for a bar seating area, and we can do many different heights and depths for whatever the particular space is needed or allows us to use. So the designer does a lot of work in how things get laid out. And this particular unit is done in a quarter sawn white oak, and you'll see some flecking or different appearances to the wood just in the way that the wood is cut, just like you might say a steak is cut different ways to get a different taste of the steak or different cut of the steak. We do that with the wood also, and giving different cuts of either a rotary cut or plain sliced, or in this case a quarter sawn cut, and gives a different appearance to the wood. Here we have a full display kitchen. It's our only full display here at Kountry Kraft. We have a complete sink and refrigerator, ovens, cooktops, everything in here, including an under-counter microwave here in the island. This kitchen is a little bit different. It's one of our unique insets where we actually have a 1-inch thick front frame with a 3/4 inch door and have a detail actually machined back to that. One of our details that we call our French inset. So we like to show that off. As you've seen, have multiple different door styles here with some mullions in it with unique mullion styles. We also have color combination where the island is different color with the cooking center, and also some molding detail with variations in colors and trying to pull the things together. We have multiple different storage units, again pulling out for some spices alongside of the cooking area. In the hood, also in the base cabinet, being able to pull out the base unit for some storage of some spices. So whichever works best for the homeowner is what we try to work with. We have a lot of different accessories here again, some spice rack in the drawer, and you can see here we did a little bit of a detail with some walnut edge treatment on the top edge of the drawer. And we can also do that as doing a full walnut deep drawer. So we can do walnut drawers or interiors, as you've seen some before, in just another nice detail of section. We can also do adjustable pullouts, where we have pullouts coming out. This one just happens to have some wood top accessories, different profiles and species in it, but showing that we can do adjustable pullouts, so you can set them to whatever height you want them. We try to disguise a lot of the appliances if we can. In this case, we have the wood panel on a dishwasher. So we're making panels to conceal appliances so you don't see them quite as much. We made a complete front frame there. On my other side here, we concealed the refrigerator by doing a door with the rails, but the front stays in location, and you'll see that the panels only open instead of like on the dishwasher where the whole front frame opened, only part of the door or drawer opens here and part of the frame stays in location. You can see how we build in the ovens and make them flush in with the cabinetry. Some lighting you'll see in these cabinets also. We can put lighting in the tops so you have spotlights, or as you've seen before, hidden behind the stiles and coming down the side and lighting up the interiors of the cabinets. On behalf of the Kountry Kraft team and the Hurst family, I just want to thank you for taking time to take this tour with us. Have a great day.